What do a tire, Formula One, and a sensual Italian model have in common? The answer: Pirelli. But the history of this brand goes far beyond asphalt and advertising. Prepare to discover the secrets, myths, and truths behind one of the most iconic names in the world. Let's go back to 1872. Milan, Italy, a city in full industrial swing. Giovanni Battista Pirelli, a young engineer with a clear vision, founded a modest company, GB Pirelli, and see his goal: to produce rubber articles. From the start, Pirelli demonstrated an innovative mentality, betting on diversified products, rubber bands, raincoats, and even telegraph cables. However, it was their foray into the world of transportation that would mark their destiny. The 20th century brought with it the automobile revolution, and Pirelli knew how to read the future. In 1901, they launched their first tire for automobiles, the Tipo Milano. It was not an easy road. Competition was fierce, the technology was nascent, and the roads were a real challenge. But Pirelli did not give up. They invested in research, experimented with new materials and designs, and bet heavily on motorsport. Participation in motor racing became a key strategy. The races were the perfect laboratory to test the limits of their products and gain global visibility. Each victory, each podium, was proof of the quality and resistance of Pirelli tires. The 1950s would mark a before and after. In 1953, Pirelli introduced the Cinturato, the first radial tire produced industrially. This revolutionary innovation offered greater grip, durability, and comfort, catapulting Pirelli to the forefront of the industry. But Pirelli was not just technological innovation. It was also synonymous with design and style. In 1964, they launched the first Pirelli calendar, an exclusive publication that combined auteur photography with feminine beauty. Far from being a simple catalog, the calendar became a cult object, a platform for renowned artists, and a symbol of sophistication. And this is where the story gets even more interesting. Because, like any legendary brand, Pirelli is surrounded by myths and urban legends. One of the most recurring has to do with the durability of its tires. Is it true that Pirelli tires last less than those of other brands? The answer is not simple. In reality, the durability of a tire depends on multiple factors: the type of vehicle, the driving style, the road conditions, and, of course, the type of tire. However, there is a widespread perception that Pirelli tires, especially high-performance ones, tend to wear out faster. This is partly due to their rubber compound, designed to offer exceptional grip, even in extreme conditions. The greater the grip, the greater the friction and, therefore, the greater the wear. It is not necessarily a defect, but an inherent characteristic of its design. It is the price to pay for a superior driving experience. Another myth, darker, links Pirelli with alleged unethical business practices in its beginnings. It is said that Giovanni Battista Pirelli was a relentless man, obsessed with success at any price. However, there is no concrete evidence to support these accusations. What is certain is that Pirelli, like many companies of the time, faced complex labor and social challenges, and did not always make the most popular decisions. Today, Pirelli is much more than a tire manufacturer. It is a global brand, present in more than 160 countries, synonymous with quality, innovation, and Italian style. Its tires equip the most prestigious cars in the world, and its calendar remains a benchmark of artistic photography. Pirelli has been able to reinvent itself over the years, adapting to market changes and keeping its DNA intact. It has overcome economic crises, wars, and scandals, always with its sights set on the future. From its humble beginnings in a Milanese workshop to becoming an industry giant, the history of Pirelli is an example of vision, perseverance, and passion for innovation. A story that reminds us that, sometimes, the most iconic brands are those that dare to challenge the limits and roll against the current. Because sometimes, behind a simple tire, there is a whole story that few know. Did you enjoy this journey through the history of Pirelli? If you want to discover more fascinating stories of legendary brands, don't forget to subscribe and leave us your comment.